Today's a day for making granola, and it's a recipe based on something my mom did for a long time. And I asked my sister for that recipe, and she said, "Oh, just a ratio of 7 to 1." So let me show you about the 7 to 1, and you can put in it lots of things that you like, and leave out those things you don't like. Um, so what's in it, and what do I do? I basically categorize this in three main ingredient groups. One is the nuts, and I'm going to use three different kinds of nuts. These are pecans that are sourced from New Mexico, a farm in New Mexico. Some sliced almonds. I like them whole, but my family likes them sliced, so guess what happens? And some walnuts. And size of the chunks depends on who you're cooking for. The second category is, of course, the oatmeal, any kind of oatmeal. It can be the quick or the not quick or the whatever. And I've got, it looks like just over 4 cups here. And then I use coconut oil, which makes this healthier. And I also use lots of honey. And I've tried agave and I've tried maple syrup, but honey gives it the texture that's really good. So let's start by combining these ingredients. So here's the oatmeal, and then what I do is I just combine what kind of nuts I like into about an equal sized bowl. Sometimes I've used all pecans, and that works great. We really like pecans. But I'm going to mix three different kinds of nuts here. Sometimes it's just what ends up being less expensive in the store. Sometimes I've used all almonds. I really like almonds, and I like them whole, but they're also good slice. And then walnuts, and I think walnuts are kind of key. These look kind of big, so I might take them out and chop up some of them. But yeah, I think I'll do that. I thought these were already broken, so I'm gonna take a second and cut up those a little bit smaller. So I'll come back when they're. So you might say, check out that cleaver, and yeah, check out that cleaver. My mom got it in San Francisco when she was doing a lot of um, cooking Chinese, and I love this cleaver. It's the best ever. Um, I don't know where you could get another one. I bet you there's lots of places you can get it. We got the internet these days. But anyway, so that was quick. That's all I'm gonna cut the walnuts. So I chopped up these a little bit smaller. I got about equal parts of nuts to oatmeal, and there's at least 4 cups each, probably about five. Now your coconut oil may end up being solid. You can microwave it. I'm in New Mexico and it's pretty toasty outside, so mine is all liquid. I'm gonna spoon about let's see, if my sister says 7 to 1, and really I've got more, so I need to do more than just a cup. So, and the more it's actually it's really robust. It's pretty flexible. You can put a little bit more. I'm gonna go about 3/4. You can see it's about 3/4 of a cup. I want to be sure I've got space for honey, and I'm gonna pour honey over the top. And this is pretty thick, so it's taken its time to come down. If I'd had a bigger bottle, it would have been faster. So I might heat this a little bit to get my honey runnier. So here we are. I just zapped it a little bit. I'm gonna put a little bit more. Another thing I do, I'm gonna want to drizzle this honey over the top of the granola when it's done. So so I still that. It's coming, it's coming. So I bet you that's pretty good. I'll use a little bit more honey on the top. I'm gonna lay it on its side so it drizzles a little bit more. So I need a really big bowl, and I'm using a turkey can to mix all this. So I'm just going to dump this. Sometimes I just dump the oatmeal directly from the box and the nuts directly from that, but I wanted to show you exactly what's going on here. So I'm just going to mix this up, and then I'll pour the other stuff on top. Mix all this, and I'm just going to pour this over the top. And mix it up well. And sometimes I might say, I didn't quite get everything wet enough, so I'll add a little bit more. So I want to stir this. At this point, my sister sometimes adds cinnamon. You can add cocoa powder. You can, yeah, you can add what flavorings you like. My dad likes dates, so sometimes there's dates or raisins that are added. I don't really like that. I've also seen people add chocolate chips after it comes out of the oven. So you can make this to be the granola of your dreams. It looks like it's pretty well mixed. Pretty well mixed. Some of it's clumping together a little bit, which is fine, which is great. And now's the time to just cook it in the oven a little bit. And you're gonna have to watch it really carefully, so that you don't burn it. So let's look at how I put it in the oven, because that's kind of part of the important. So I've got a pan that I've lined with parchment paper because I don't like it to stick. And I'm going to use two of these pans and cover them, actually a pretty thin layer of the granola mixture. Here's one pan, it's pretty thin. Spread it on the second pan. Okay, so I've actually used three pans. I've got this is a little bit smaller, but it's about like three 9 by 13 pans. And the last part I'm going to do is take the little bit of honey and I'm going to drizzle it over the top. This makes what my husband affectionately calls more like granola brickle, so it'll stick together and it'll be really yummy. And I know my dad really likes this, but I don't know if you can see it drizzling out. And I'll drizzle this out over the whole thing. And this makes it taste really, really good. Some people like less sugar, so another reason to do multiple trays is if you've got people who like less sugar in it, you don't have to add. I obviously don't have to add the honey, um, but I'm going to put it on all three because that seems to get eaten a lot more swiftly when I do that. So then I'll plop these in the oven about 350 or 300 for 20 minutes, and then I'll look at it and see if it's toasting. I'll want to turn it around at that point. You want to keep shifting it around so it doesn't burn. And I've taken these guys out just to move it around a little bit so nothing burns. You'll find your oven has different, maybe, I don't know if your oven's like mine, got different hot spots or cold spots. I know my top shelf cooks a little bit quicker than my bottom shelf. But one of the things that's really cool about this granola is you can make it to fit what you like, as toasty as you like, as sweet as you like, with the nuts you like, the combinations you like, the seasonings, whatever. And that's, that's the joy of, making your own food like this. And this is so much healthier. You know exactly what's in it. There's no preservatives. You can use exactly what you want to eat. This is also nice. I put these in plastic bags and give them to people as gifts. It's real nice. It's just a real nice thing. This is not quite toasted yet, so I'm going to put it in the oven for a little bit longer, but I want to watch it more closely this time. So I'll be watching it about every 5 to 10 minutes. I'll pull it out and make sure nothing's turning too dark. So I just pulled it out of the oven for the second time. I'm going to stir it around again. It's now beginning to toast. So it'll start toasting really quickly. So you want to keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't toast too much. Now I like mine a little bit more than this, but again, I said my husband likes it cooked a little bit more. So what I might do is leave one of these out for me, and then I'll let his cook in there for a little bit longer. I do have a third. I haven't put it in the oven yet. I don't have space in the oven. But but there we go. I'm gonna put one in for a little bit longer and I'm gonna call this one done so you can do what you want with yours. So here it is. This one's done a little bit more. It's still pretty hot. And there's this one is the one I took out a little earlier. So you can see the texture. It's still warm in my hand, but lots of nuts and it's sweet. And oh, it is yummy. And you can even put it on top of top of ice cream. And this is this is awesome. It's really awesome. So you could call it granola brickle because it's got all that honey in it. But yeah, highly recommended. And you would want to add if you use dates or raisins, you want to add those at the end and not at the beginning. Um, so no, enjoy. Measure this however you want, but I'm cooking without measuring anything.